Hey guys, welcome back to Legally Diverse. It's your girl Nadine, and on this channel I create content on law and lifestyle. So I create content on the legal recruitment process as well as the legal profession in practice, and eventually I'll be doing some lifestyle content as well. So obviously, as you know, today is Q&A video whereby I've asked people on my Instagram, which if you're not following, follow, to send me questions, and this time it's related to my legal journey and law. So if you're interested, which you should be, stay tuned and we'll get straight into it. So the first question is, have you always wanted to be a lawyer? No, I haven't always wanted to be a lawyer. I think my journey into law started when I was about 14, 15. But prior to that, I did want to work in social work. I did want to be a psychologist, but I felt like social work was a bit too heavy for me in terms of like emotionally heavy. And then psychologist, I felt like I analyze things too much as it is. If I became a psychologist, no one would be safe. So I thought like that's not for me either. I first decided to go into law when, okay guys, story time. I grew up in an area that had a lot of gang crime, knife crime, things like that. And when I say grow up, I don't mean where I lived, but where I spent a lot of my time. And I really became passionate about criminal law and criminal justice and things of that nature. And so I thought, yeah, I need to be a lawyer. So that was in 2007. So yeah, I've been wanting to be a lawyer for a while, but I wouldn't say it's something I've always wanted to be. Personal experience has kind of drawn me to that. So yeah. So the next question is, did you ever consider becoming a barrister? Yes, I did. And that's because I don't know if you know, but if you don't know, then you should know by now that I love to talk. And so the whole advocacy side of law, the whole barrister profession was so attractive to me. Like I wanted to get into the courtroom, wear my wig, stand up. When I say wig, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. So stand up in court, put my case forward, that was all me. And then after doing one or two mini pupilages, I kind of realized that I'm not the type of person that likes to work completely independently. And I found the barrister profession to be a very independent profession. They have their own cases. They work very much independent of other barristers. They're self-employed. And I felt like that wasn't for me. I definitely wanted a career where I was going to be able to work in teams. I was going to be able to support other people. And I wanted the kind of that security of having a steady salary paycheck. After doing some research, I realized that solicitors can speak in court. They can apply for higher rights if that's what you want to do. So yeah, I think the solicitor profession kind of gave me a bit of everything that I wanted. So I left the barrister profession behind. The next question is, how did you know commercial law was right for you? Great question. As I kind of alluded to, my initial passion was criminal law, but when I did work experience in criminal law, it was too emotionally heavy for me. I felt like every day of that work experience, I would go home with a heavy heart. It was like I was stressed and depressed about the situations and the people and the circumstances I was coming across. And I thought, because I'm not the type of person that can just switch off, it wasn't going to be something I would be able to do long term. And I decided that my passion is definitely still for youth and young people in the community. And I found different ways that I knew that I would be able to tap into that passion on the side and maybe not do it as a career, but maybe do it as a charity venture or something like that. So left criminal law, knew that wasn't for me. And then I started to explore commercial law a little bit more. So I took part in the employment tribunal work experience. I've also done media and entertainment law work experience, but then moving out of work experience and then into like paid work, I spent a lot of time in real estate. So I knew that commercial law was something I could be interested in because there's so many different areas to commercial law. And it's like I was exploring one after another. And in the last 2 years, especially during the pandemic and stuff, I've become really interested in businesses, how they're set up, how they work, how they fail, the different parts of the economy and things that affect businesses. And that definitely pushed me towards a corporate commercial career. So yeah, now I'm definitely sure that commercial law is right for me based on experience. And the next question, I guess, that's linked to that is, what area of law do you want to specialize in? And I couldn't tell you right now. I really couldn't tell you. Because I've explored so many different areas of law, I'm always telling myself to keep an open mind. I'm really hoping, guys, that I get the training contract seats that I want, because I'm not 100% sure what I want to specialize in yet. So I'm hoping that once I have that experience, I'll be in a better place to make that decision. Because for a while, when I thought of commercial law, I thought, okay, keeping with that criminal advocacy train of mind, maybe dispute resolution and litigation would be like the type of career that I'd pursue in commercial law. But yeah, I don't think so. I don't think contentious is where I'm going. I think I definitely prefer more transactional seats, because I spent a couple of months in disputes and the work was interesting, the team was amazing, but it didn't excite me in the same way where I like transactions, because I like to know, okay, boom, this needs to happen by this deadline. Like, I like that. So yeah, I think it's likely to be a transactional area of law that I will end up in, but don't hold me to it. For now, we're gonna see how it goes. So the next question, have you ever had moments of doubt when considering becoming a lawyer? Absolutely. Like, if you've been following my journey at all, when I say follow my journey, what I mean is, like, if you've seen my post on Instagram or you watched my introduction YouTube video, you'll definitely know that it's taken me years to get to this stage. Went to university in 2011, graduated in 2015, had to self-fund the LPC in 2017, didn't get my training contract till 2021. So I've been on a 10-year journey with this legal career. And so, as you can imagine, I've had so many moments where I doubted whether law is right for me, whether the solicitor profession is right for me, whether I have the capabilities, the technical skills, the soft skills that is needed for a lawyer. So many moments, so many moments, whether it was getting my grades back or receiving rejection emails. Yeah, it's happened a lot. So I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I think what definitely helped me in those moments was, like, knowing my why, right? Knowing why I definitely want to be a lawyer, why I should keep going at it, keep applying, keep learning, keep developing my skills. And then also acknowledging the progress that I've made. So whether it's like, okay, cool, well, last season I got 20 rejections at the application stage. This round I got 15 application rejections, but I got to 4 assessment centres. Just kind of acknowledging the progress you're making, because that kind of encourages you to keep making more progress. It's not like the whole time of my legal journey I was just always at one stage or never really growing or learning or understanding. I was always making progress. Admittedly, I would have liked to make progress faster, but yeah, I think to say there's been moments would be an understatement. Is there something you wish you knew about earlier on in your journey? This is an interesting one, because I remember I did a live with Nikki, which I will link at the top. And someone asked us a similar question to be like, is there anything that you regret or anything like that along your legal journey? And I think this question's kind of along the same lines. And there's nothing that I would regret. I guess, is there something I wish I knew sooner? Yes. I wish I knew the importance of developing my commercial awareness, because I know for a fact that I consciously ignored it for years. Like, it was one of those things that was like, I didn't quite understand what commercial awareness was. So I just felt like if I worked on every other aspect of my application form, I'd be able to sell through without needing to work on it, kind of thing. Or I would do what I thought was commercial awareness and it wasn't really commercial awareness, so I wasn't really developing it. So I wish I knew what that was. And I think that's why, especially for them on Instagram, I do promote commercial awareness based platforms quite a lot, because I think it's something that you're not necessarily taught in terms of like book education at university or on the LPC and stuff like that. It's something you have to learn and develop for yourself. So I definitely wish I knew that. I think another thing I wish I really knew at the time was just the amount of resources there are out there. And what I mean by that is I had no idea about things like City Career Series. So like the books that kind of help you with application forms and internships and interviews and business writing and things like that. I never knew about that. I think if I knew about it, I definitely would have purchased it and kind of worked on my skills and understanding in that area. But also just the legal community that there is on Instagram, I never knew about it. And I think there's so much great people on Instagram and on YouTube that I didn't know anything about, that if I did, then maybe I would have learned more quicker. So I think, and that's another reason why you should follow me on Instagram, because not only do I put out my own content, I really do promote and share and repost content from other people that I think you may find helpful. Because back when I was applying, I had no idea about a fraction of the platforms and resources that are out there. And I think it's somewhat naive, and it was somewhat naive for me to think that I can kind of just do it on my own and just figure it all out. It's like, no, there's actually people out there who've done what you've done, who do what you want to do, and that are speaking on the things that you're unsure about. So that's definitely what I wish I knew earlier on in my journey. I think I didn't know about any of it till about 2020. And then obviously I got my training contract in 2021, so it obviously helped. So the next question, what would you tell yourself now if you were still applying for training contracts? What would I tell myself now? I would tell myself to be very intentional about the law firms that I'm applying to. And the reason why I say that is because for years I had no real structure or direction. I literally applied to any and every law firm. I think at one point I just got really desperate with it and I was just like, someone give me a training contract. And I think because I had no real direction, structure, I had no real passion or interest or reason for applying to certain firms, it obviously came across in the application process, or if I did get to the interview stage, it was like, I get that you want to practice law. I 100% understand your passion for law. I'm just not 100% sure that you're passionate about us. And it was a very valid point because I wasn't 100% sure either. And I guess really and truly, you can never be 100% sure, but obviously you know when you know that this is the firm that you want, and you also know that you know when you're applying to it because you saw a deadline that you thought you'd be able to meet, and so you submit an application. It's definitely a quality over quantity type of thing. Looking back, I would definitely dish out about 20 plus application forms as opposed to maybe doing 8 really good application forms. So definitely something to keep in mind. Quality is definitely more important than quantity. So shifting the gear slightly, the next question is, what made you start Legally Diverse? This is obviously, I'm excited because Legally Diverse is a way for me to, one, communicate my passion for like helping people and communicating with people, but also communicating information that I wish I knew back when I was going through the process, because I really am of the view that I struggled the way I struggled so that I can communicate enough information for people not to struggle the way I struggled. So Legally Diverse, it was a platform that I created to literally pour out all of the information that I learned along my journey, that if I knew sooner or if I understood more about, then I would probably have avoided some of the rejections that I got, or I would have been more motivated to keep going when maybe I lost my motivation or I lost my confidence along the way. And also, even though my journey was hard, I did realize how much privilege I had in knowing lawyers within the profession, because it did mean that I had a lot of legal work experience. And I understand that not everyone has that. And so whilst I can't give like experience to everyone, what I can do is shine a light on different areas of the profession. And this is something that I try to do in my legal practice series. I try to have as many lawyers as possible on the platform who can speak to, one, their legal journey. So like letting you know that either their journey was smooth because of, or their journey was rough and they learnt X, Y, and Z, but also what they're doing in the profession now and what is the profession like in practice. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I will link the playlist up here. And if there's an area of law that I haven't done a video on and you would like to hear about, definitely drop it in the comments box, because I'm always trying to expand this series as much as possible. Next question is, what are your goals for Legally Diverse this year? As it relates to Legally Diverse, because I love to connect with people and interact with people, I do at some point want to do some type of event. An in-person event, not a virtual event. Like, I'm tired of computer screens, guys, tired. I do want to organize an in-person event. I love organizing events. Like, I was the events manager of the African Caribbean Society, whoop whoop, at Leicester. So I love organizing events, and I want to do that sometime this year with Legally Diverse. If you feel like an event would be helpful, then definitely drop me a comment below. And then also, if there's something in particular that you feel like the event should include, drop that in the comments box below. Also, let me know whether you would attend an event on a Saturday, because I feel like after work, it gets late after like an hour, and like I said, I want to get as much, I want it to be really worthwhile. So I'm thinking a Saturday, but let me know in the comments what you think. So yeah, that is a goal. Another goal for Legally Diverse is to just make as much one-to-one impacts as possible, like personal impacts. And I think that's why I started the year off with the mentoring, because I knew that I had a bit extra time and I wanted to help people on a more one-to-one basis, even if it is just one-off calls with people. But yeah, I just want to grow the platform generally, both on Instagram and YouTube. So be a doll and make sure you're following both platforms. Please subscribe, press the follow button on Instagram, like the content. It definitely does encourage me to keep going, because being a content creator and being on social media, it isn't easy. So yeah, it's another journey I'm currently on. So funny I said that, actually, because the next question is, do you prefer creating YouTube or Instagram content? I thought this was a really interesting question. Because of the engagement aspect, I currently prefer Instagram. I feel quite lonely on YouTube, guys.
Like, you don't interact with me. You don't like my videos. You don't leave a comment.
So YouTube can be quite lonely, I have to say. I'm hoping that changes this year. Maybe if I give you more content like this. I think recently I've given you quite a lot of legal practice area content, so maybe you haven't had as much to say, I don't know. But I think because of the loneliness aspect, I prefer Instagram. But now Instagram, I definitely want to make more YouTube videos this year. So if there are topics that you want to see on YouTube, let me know. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's helped you in kind of getting a better understanding about my legal journey and my motivations and like where I'm at now, what I want going forward. If you have any other questions, obviously drop them in the comments below. Like this video, because if you're still watching, you obviously like some part of it. So like this video. If you're not subscribing, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.